Summary of White Poison. Author Kayemb Uriël Nawej. The book condemns Christianity, particularly the Catholic Church, as a central instrument of colonization, enslavement, and the spiritual subjugation of Africa. According to the author, African Christians are traitors to their ancestors. He calls for a rejection of Christianity and a return to African religions, prophets, and kingdoms. 1. Religion as a weapon of colonization. Missionaries were part of the colonial apparatus from the beginning. King Leopold II, in 1883, stated that their task was to teach Africans to lose interest in the wealth of their land. Colonial Minister Renquin, in 1920, ordered the confiscation of African statues and the eradication of ancestral memory. 2. Systematic humiliation. Church representatives declared Black people without history and incapable of civilization. Jean-Félix de Hemptin, in 1931, wrote that the African has no philosophy, no substance. Religion was thus tied to racism, destroying cultural self-respect. 3. Destruction of African prophets. Kimpa Vita, born 1684 and executed in 1706, taught that God was not European and that Congolese exist in heaven. She was burned alive by Capuchin monks. Simon Kimbangu, 1887 to 1951, prophesied Africa's liberation, and according to witnesses, survived an execution attempt when he emerged unharmed from a river. 4. Church and slavery. Popes such as Nicholas V in 1455 authorized Saracens and pagans to be enslaved forever. The Code Noir of 1685 forced all slaves to be baptized and forbade any other religion. The church materially profited from the slave trade. 5. Colonial identity through names. European first names like Leopold or Marie France are seen as signs of mental enslavement. The author mocks Africans who name their children Blanche, noting that no white person would name their daughter Noire. 6. Anti-Semitism and racism. Nawej views Christianity as the ideological root of both anti-Black racism and anti-Semitism. He calls Hitler an admiring Catholic, shaped by Luther's hatred of Jews, and points to shared conservative values between the Church and fascism. 7. The Church and the Rwandan genocide. Priests and nuns allegedly betrayed or even killed Tutsis. A missionary reportedly translated Mein Kampf into Kinyarwanda to incite hatred against the Tutsis. The Archbishop of Kigali, Nsengiyumva, was allegedly entangled with the ruling party and the Secret Service. Poverty and backwardness. Christian morality glorifies poverty and discourages economic self-reliance. By contrast, Judaism promotes wealth, education, and responsibility. The Church blocks modern medicine and science, contributing to Africa's misery. 9. Alternative. Jewish roots of Africa. The author refers to genetic studies of the Lemba people in South Africa, whose DNA, the so-called Kohanim sequence, allegedly reveals Jewish ancestry. Africans, he argues, have ancient Hebrew rather than Christian roots. 10. Call for apostasy. Nawej urges, leaving the church and discarding foreign symbols and names, returning to African gods and ancestors, restoring African kingdoms such as Congo, awaiting an African Messiah, Nkua Tulendo, who will bring liberation and knowledge. He writes, an African Christian is a traitor to the tortured and murdered ancestors. True forgiveness from the Vatican begins only when it returns its stolen wealth. Conclusion. White Poison is a radical Afrocentrist attack on Christianity. It fuses historical quotes, colonial documents, and spiritual visions into a call for Africa's mental decolonization. Despite its polemical tone and sweeping generalizations, the book exposes the intertwined nature of religion, colonialism, and racism, and asks whether Africa can reclaim its soul only by rejecting the white poison.